Fuochi verranno attizzati per dimostrare che 2 più 2 fa 4. Spade verranno sguainate per dimostrare che le foglie sono verdi in estate. Quel tempo è arrivato, signori. Siamo pronti. Grazie.
Oh, how the mighty has fallen. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of A Nigerian Perspective with your favorite Nigerian or not. I'm Frank Steven, and today we'll be talking about Italy. Did I say Italy? Yes. Yes, I did. And I'll be talking about the person who is said to be the next prime minister of the country. I mean, she led her party to a 26% lead in the just concluded election in that country. Now, all someone from my part of the world will know about Italy is obviously going to come from mainstream news outlets like the Washington Post, BBC, and CNN. And it sounds like people who are writing these articles and headlines about Italy's new prime minister are freaking out. Or they want their readers to freak out. Like, let's see a few of these articles. So, according to the Washington Post headline, Italy's election results set up the first far-right government since Mussolini. Now, if you know anything about Italy under fascism, then the name Mussolini is very synonymous with Hitler. So I guess this headline is trying to say that Italy is about to experience fascism 2.0. I mean, that's scary as hell. Very scary, right? The article also goes on to say Meloni's opponent warned that her rise could turn into an epochal event in European politics, pushing Italy into an illiberal bloc with Poland and Hungary and causing tension that cuts through the heart of the European continent. Now, this line of reporting is the same thing you see on CNN, which says Giorgia Meloni claims victory to become Italy's most far-right prime minister since Mussolini. BBC headline says Italy far-right wins election and vows to govern for all. Yeah, I guess that BBC headline is kind of mild in comparison until you read the article and realize the gist is essentially the same. I mean, are these writers all thinking alike? Anyway, the point is, Meloni's win is a massively terrorizing outcome for these news outlets and their loyal readers. I mean, how else can you explain these headlines? But honestly, the whole conversation around the subject of her win is quite confusing. Of course, I know about fascism and Nazism, Mussolini and Hitler, but as a Nigerian, I really can't relate to what it's like to be from a country known for killing millions of people in furtherance of an ideology. I mean, the highest Africa has ever done was slavery. And honestly, we don't even get any credit for that. I mean, we pioneered the greatest and largest commercial exchange of people for guns and mirrors. And that led to them being transported from one continent to another. And nobody gives us credit for our immense contribution and how impossible the transatlantic slave trade would have been without our valuable input. To me, it's just unfair at this point. I mean, slavery and human trafficking are still going on in some parts of Africa to date, but no one is talking about it. Like, how bad? Please, how bad do we have to be so we can be able to chill with these big boys?
I just want to be appreciated.
I mean, even Nigeria, we have our own atrocities that barely get a mention. Like, people in Calabar, we are killing twins before colonialism. And many tribes in Nigeria practice human trafficking at an alarming rate like it was nothing. Before the British came and abolished all that. What am I saying? What am I even saying? People still secretly practice human trafficking, especially during festive seasons in modern day Nigeria. But I'm sure our biggest problem is colonialism, right?
What is this guy saying? That problem now condenser radiator. Hey!
Right? You know, there is a tribe in Nigeria known and dreaded for something really awful. And that tribe is the one that I'm from. See, I'm an Ungwa man. Let me say it the way we say it. I'm an Ungwa man. And people from Ungwa are known we are known all over the eastern part of Nigeria for killing and eating human beings. No, it wasn't because we had a famine or food crisis. It's just like how you may prefer steak instead of chicken or something. And granted, we don't do that anymore thanks to the influence of colonization. But let me just state that the fact that we don't eat people anymore is not something that I can prove. It's just what my father told me. He said, look at your mother. She's not an Ungwa woman and she's still alive. So that's all the proof I have. But the point I'm trying to make is there is no African equivalence for Hitler or Mussolini, who who caused the death of millions in the most inhuman way possible. To my ancestors, the sin of Hitler is that he just wasted the protein supply from the bodies of those Jews when he could have, used them to spice up a delicious egusi soup.
So let's go.
So it's not me.
Now, I'm not making light of what Germany did in World War II. God forbid. Like, God forbid. I'm just saying that as a Nigerian, it doesn't hit the same way it does for a European or anyone in the West. Which is probably why I'm not so shaken by all these headlines about Giorgia Meloni. Which is also probably why I feel they may be exaggerating a bit. Also, I think this media outlet are exaggerating because I have a Meloni speech where she quotes someone who is not a fascist, someone who is actually a liberal. Take a look.
E questa è la ragione per la quale oggi noi facciamo tanta paura. Questa è la ragione per la quale oggi questo appuntamento fa tanta paura. Perché noi non vogliamo essere dei numeri, noi siamo qui per dire che noi non siamo dei numeri, noi difenderemo il valore della persona umana, di ogni singola persona umana, perché ognuno di noi ha un codice genetico unico e irripetibile. E questo, piaccia o no, ha del sacro. Lo difenderemo Dio, la patria e la famiglia, che fanno tanto schifo a qualcuno. Lo faremo per difendere la nostra libertà, perché noi non saremo mai schiavi e semplici consumatori in balia della speculazione finanziaria. Ecco la nostra missione, ecco perché oggi sono venuta qui. Scriveva Chesterton ormai più di un secolo fa, vediamo se ve lo trovo. Fuochi verranno attizzati per dimostrare che 2 più 2 fa 4. Spade verranno sguainate per dimostrare che le foglie sono verdi in estate. Quel tempo è arrivato, signori. Siamo pronti. Grazie.
Now, the quote there is from G.K. Chesterton. And the quote is from his book, Heretics. Now, many Christians have shared this quote on Twitter. It reads, "Fires will be kindled to testify that 2 and 2 makes 4. Swords will be drawn to prove that leaves are green in summer." But that's not the whole quote. I did a little Google search and I found the full quote from Goodreads. It says, "Truths turn into dogmas the instant they are disputed. Thus, every man who utters a doubt redefines a religion. And the skepticism of our time does not really destroy the beliefs. Rather, it creates them, gives them their limits and their plain and defiant shape. We who are liberals once held liberalism lightly as a truism. Now it has been disputed and we hold it fiercely as a faith. We who believe in patriotism once thought patriotism to be reasonable and thought little more about it. Now we know it is unreasonable and we know it to be right. We who are Christians never knew the great philosophic common sense which inheres in this mystery until the anti-Christian writers pointed it out to us. The great march of mental destruction will go on. Everything will be denied. Everything will become a creed. It is a reasonable position to deny the stones in the street. It will be a religious dogma to assert them. It is a rational thesis that we are all in a dream. It will be a mystical sanity to say that we are all awake. Fires will be kindled to testify that 2 and 2 makes 4. Swords will be drawn to prove that leaves are green in summer. We shall be left defending not only the incredible virtues and sanities of human lives, but something more incredible still, this huge impossible universe which stares us in the face. We shall fight for visible prodigies as if they were invisible. We shall look on the impossible grass and the skies with a strange courage. We shall be of those who have seen and yet have believed. I mean, this is a true profound statement and a perfect description of the world we live in today. And I mean, to think that this statement was made in when? 1905? Chesterton predicted what would befall Western civilization in 2022 in 1905. I mean, look around you. Every facet of what we hold to be self-evident is constantly being denied. And to state objective reality is equal to violence and systemic oppression. You can get cancelled now for calling a man and calling a woman a woman. You people in America talk about, cultural war. Is that what they call it? Cultural war. But that phrase itself clearly suggests that the swords are now being drawn. And for what? Just to state simple truths like the grass is green in summer or that a trans woman's vagina isn't real. I mean, that was what happened to Dave Chappelle.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean?
In 2022, your streets were on fire, statues were falling like trees in the fall, and all of that was to spread the narrative all over the world that the West is systematically racist after electing a black president for 2 terms. Again, I don't know much. I'm just a distant Nigerian observer, but it seems to me that you guys are fulfilling an early 20th century prophecy. I mean, talk about abortion and the pro-life movement. Aren't you fighting for the life of a baby in the womb as if that life doesn't exist? And what did Chesterton say? He said, "We shall fight for visible prodigies as if they were invisible." And just the other day, one of your politicians said that the heartbeat detected by ultrasound machine is manufactured, and a child at 6 weeks has no heartbeat. And Twitter wouldn't even dare to call it misinformation.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her.
I mean, what have you guys not redefined in the last couple of years? Man, marriage, woman, pedophiles, recession. Hell, you guys even changed the definition of a vaccine. See, I can bet with all my savings, whatever it is worth, on the fact that Giorgia Meloni is probably not far right. She probably is nowhere close to Mussolini. I mean, how many people who say rational and pretty liberal things have you guys called far right? This is my hypothesis. When you are so far left, anybody in the middle or even close to the middle from your viewpoint is far right. It just might turn out that Meloni isn't far right. Instead, CNN, Washington Post, BBC, and their loyal and mindless readers and viewers are the ones who are far left. I guess the hope in all of this is that speaking the truth is now going to be a religion. Calling out objective facts will become the new Hail Mary. And saying something we've all known to be the case until 5 minutes ago will become the blessed sacrament. Well, I want to end with this. Now, when the British came to Africa, they came with their customs and religion. And though we resisted British rule, we loved many things about your culture. And we quickly adopted them to our way of life. You gave us clothes, great fabrics, wonderful medicine, Western education, industrialized farming, Christianity, monogamy, and British common law. You even gave us democracy, which we still haven't gotten right. But I mean, my name is Frank Stephen. Stephen is my son name, my grandfather's name. He was so in love with what you guys had to offer that he passed down that uninteresting English name to his grandchildren. We do our best to learn from you guys, but lately we are losing confidence. We are losing confidence in what you have to offer. We look at some of your ideas and say, no, that is obviously stupid and meaningless. You guys used to make sense. That's what made you great in our eyes. The West had better ways of doing so many things, and now you can't even identify a woman. The people that helped us stop the killing of twins now want us to kill babies at 8 months because the mother suddenly changed her mind and shouldn't be forced to house her own child. Marriage is now a union between a man and a man, yet that man can become a woman, and minor attracted persons are marginalized people. Are you serious? And the absurdity of all this is just lost on more than half of you people in the West. Like what? Now what I'm about to say and quote may sound over the top and dramatic, but I'm going to say it anyway because it perfectly conveys my feeling about the decline of reason and common sense in the West. So here it goes. Tell it not in Gath. Proclaim it not in the street of Ashkelon. Lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice. Lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. The beauty of Israel is slain on her high places. Oh, how the mighty has fallen. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I believe you enjoyed it, and if you do, then hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss another video that I get to post in the future. Have you done it? You have, right? Thank you.